Hello to all you lovers out there. I'm Juan.
And I'm G.
And together we are Juan and G. And you're on Loveworks. We're here with our Bachelor of the Month, Mr. Donte Hall,
yes,
aka Don't Hate Tay.
Let's give a round of applause for him.
Absolutely. He has, like, you probably know him because you're probably one of his 8 million
followers,
Instagram followers. You know, you see him with the wig or the no shirt or making it all sexy and stuff.
Yeah, very Florida. Yeah.
Thank you for sitting down with us.
Thank y'all for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is a pleasure. I know, especially to be able to sit down and see the man behind. This is actually my first time meeting him. So this is a pleasure for me because I follow you on Instagram, been following you for a while, so this is a pleasure. Thank you for sitting on our couch.
Thank y'all for having me.
So tell us first, where are you from?
I'm from Tallahassee, Florida.
And
the black people in Tallahassee?
It's a few black people.
Okay.
Yeah,
I had to whisper that one.
two now that he left. How long have you been in Atlanta?
I've been in Atlanta going on like 3 weeks and some change.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I am fresh.
Oh wow! So we got a fresh Bachelor of the Month here, new to Atlanta. You know, and I guess we just gonna jump into this.
Yes.
What have you heard about dating in Atlanta before you got here? Because we know what we hear all the time.
Hashtag be careful. It's not even see you later. It's like Donte, be careful. I hear like horror stories.
What do you think they want you to be careful of?
It's a lot. It's a lot. You know, sexually transmitted diseases, you know, opportunists, different kind of guys. You never know what their motives are. And, you know, Atlanta is the come up city. It's like the black Hollywood.
Yeah.
So they were saying, just be careful, you know, especially with my Instagram name and me trying to build my.
Right.
It was just like, be careful. The boys out there.
So who are these people telling you to be careful?
I don't know. It's like some unknown society. It's just like, be careful of this group right here. Like,
yeah, and I do, like, when I hear these stories, I do feel like I do have a vision of these group of guys that are just like sucking it around,
like leeches, right?
Yeah, so you came right from Tallahassee here.
I sure did.
So that's a pretty big difference.
How old are you?
22.
22.
I'm 22 years old.
22, right? So what brought you to Atlanta?
I actually wanted to like plant my seed in Atlanta and get from behind Instagram. That's what I really wanted to do.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm really into acting. That's what I really want to do.
Awesome.
Oh, so let's talk about your Instagram though. So how did you even start doing this?
Oh man, like it's always been a passion of mine. I grew up in the arts, so me being in front of the camera or being in front of an audience was nothing new to me. So I felt at home making videos, but I saw these straight guys all on Instagram in wigs. I'm just like, why a gay guy can't do that and do it way better, and then I can, you know, use that platform to start acting. So I just started making videos, and it didn't really hit off until I did like the epic strut with the heels and the Daisy Dukes. That's what really got my numbers up.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
So does that character have a name?
No, it's just an epic strut.
No, but the wig character.
Oh, the wig.
Is that Tay?
Is that
Tay? The Tay that we're not supposed to hate?
No, Tay the T is the guy. That's the shirtless. That's my masculine side. But then the girls, I give them characters. The wigs, I give them characters.
So they have a different name every time.
Right. If every wig has a different name.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So what are some of the wigs' names?
Melissa, Carmen,
describe them to us.
Mermaid. Okay, Mermaid. That's the long green and blue one. It's like ocean hair. It's like 38 inches. It's like real long. So I just named her Mermaid because it reminds me of mermaid hair.
Yeah.
It's like Brazilian hair. I just called her Melissa. Something simple. She gave me Melissa. Real classy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you're obviously a comedian. You're pursuing acting. What do you say to those people who say it's degrading for a black man to put on a wig as comedy?
You got to look at history. Like every great guy that's been in comedy, you know what I'm saying? Even though it probably, you know, they got paid money for it, they've done it. and it's nothing new under the sun. It's not degrading. I know the straightest guys in wigs and being just as funny as me, you know, a gay guy. So I don't think it's degrading at all. And I just say, do what you want to do and do what makes you happy. You know what I'm saying?
So, you know, that's interesting that you say that it's, you know, it's been done, you know, from back in the day over and over, that every time it's people imitating black women. I mean, actually women in general, because white women get a lot of, people imitate white women all the time too.
Not as much as black women though.
I don't know.
Right. That's very true.
When they imitate the Valley Girls and stuff, I mean, the Wayans brothers made a whole movie with white.
That's true, but if you look at it, like, that's like only a slice of it.
I think the ghetto black girl and the ditzy blonde-headed white girl are the most imitated characters.
That's very true.
They really are. So what is it like? How does your Instagram character affect your dating life?
Now it's kind of like, okay, I don't know if you like me because you've seen my page, or guys totally think I'm some like feminine guy, and that's totally not me at all. So it kind of puts me, you know, that top bottom ratio. I'm more so look like a bottom. If you see my Instagram first and then you meet me in person, you're gonna be like, oh, you know.
So is that a problem for you?
That is.
So when somebody assumes that you're a bottom.
Yeah, that is a problem.
Why?
Because I'm a versatile cat. Like, I'm a versatile guy.
So
I don't want you to knock me completely out from, you know, being, you know, baby on top. But
do you find it offensive?
Do I find it offensive? No, I don't blame him, because that's just, you know, first impression. You know, your first impression is the last impression. If you see my Instagram first, you would probably think that. So I don't knock him for it.
So let me ask you this. So if somebody don't even know who you are, don't know anything about your Instagram, and they meet you in person and assume that you're a bottom.
No.
That's not good. Are you offended by that?
No, I don't think I come up as a...
I'm not saying that you do.
Yeah, it's not a matter of coming.
I'm just saying, but if somebody assuming, I mean, people have assumed I might have been a bottom. People assume that about, you know, they assume I'm a top, or they assume I'm this, but you know, people have those assumptions.
You're very right.
Have nothing to do with you, but mostly all the time, everything to do with them.
Right.
You know, how they perceive you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's very true.
And so a lot of times, people might not get offended if you call them a top.
Right.
But are you offended if they call you, if they automatically assume, oh, he won old bottom?
I'm like, I'm not offended, but I'm like, what am I giving off? Like, it makes me like,
what if they say, well, he won old top? Would you question that?
I wouldn't. I mean, like, it's, I guess now that you open my mind up, it's like how people perceive me. I mean, if they perceive me as a bottom, I'm kind of like, why? But if you look at me as a top, I'm like, I'm not gonna, you know, shade you for it.
But it's a little bit, it raises a little bit more emotion in base.
It does.
What does that say about bottoms in your mind? Like, what is your impression of bottoms?
You're submissive. Like, you're a little, not weak, but you're not. I'm trying to find the right word. No offense, bottom. no offense, bottoms, because I do it, but I'm not completely.
Okay, but hold that thought. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, Donte is going to answer that question. What is it about bottoms that he just doesn't want to be assumed a bottom off the jump? Stay tuned.
Watch me do my dance. 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 Watch me do.
We may not always agree on everything,
but we can all agree on the importance of looking out for our families and friends.
And standing together in the fight against HIV. Everyone should get tested for HIV at least once as part of routine health care.
Gay and bisexual men may benefit from more frequent HIV testing and should consider getting tested every 3 to 6 months.
Knowing your status and taking whatever next steps it requires makes you and our community stronger.
HIV testing is free. Visit gettested.cdc.gov/stronger.
Yep. Welcome back. Again, we are sitting here with Donte, and we just asked him a pretty tough question, and we need to give him a little bit of time to think about it. So, now that you had a little bit of time to think, what is it, or what is your perception of when you think of a bottom?
It's just like,
and specifically, why you don't want to be assumed a bottom upon meeting someone.
It seems like, to me, like, you're more sensitive as a bottom, and I don't want to be perceived as sensitive, because especially when you're an artist, your craft is everything, like, and anybody critiques it, you know what I'm saying? So maybe that translates over to me, like, looking how I see bottoms. I'm like, okay, when somebody tops you, feelings are more involved, you're more attached, you seem needy.
You are more attached. You are more needy. Or are they? Is that how you are when you take on a more of a bottom role?
Yeah.
So you assume that about everybody else.
So you see that as a weakness?
I do.
Well, well, submitting yourself, being vulnerable, does put you in. It's a vulnerable state, so it is, from that perspective, I guess, weak because you can so easily be penetrated. No pun intended. Your emotions.
Yes, that is very true.
But isn't there strength in that? Isn't there strength in allowing yourself to be open?
That is very good.
I always say take a real man.
No pun intended.
I always say take a real man to take dick.
That is very true.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know, I understand where you're coming from because I at one point in time had those like negative stereotypes or thoughts and feelings about bottom. People would meet me and always say, "So you're a big old bottom." You know, like all my life, and I took offense to that. Number one, because they said it in a negative, derogatory way, like putting down bottoms. But then also because that's not who I was. That's the biggest part. So get it right if you're gonna label me.
You know what I think the thing is that I think a lot of times, like, for one, there's a stigma about, you know, being bottom or whatever, just like, you know, how it is, and that just comes from the whole straight world, I think. But I think that if a person is, like, if I'm a top and I'm completely scared of being a top, then I'm not going to be offended if I'm a bottom. Are they are they calling me out on something that I'm ashamed of?
Yes, that's what I think it is.
It is,
Yeah,
so I think that's more of where the issue lies, is being just comfortable with who you are and in your sexual roles.
Absolutely.
But now that we're talking about sexual roles, how do you feel about the whole no fat, no femme thing that is on? Because are you on Grindr?
I'm on Jack.
You're on Jack'd.
But
I meant to say Jack. I know Jack is the black gay app.
Oh, Grindr is for the whites?
That's what it's predominantly white.
But
I'm pretty sure if you get on Grindr in Atlanta, this is like, you know, so many black people here, so I'm pretty sure
they own everything.
Very much.
So what do you think about the no fat, no femme thing? Or how do you date femmes or do you date fats?
I've dated one feminine guy, but that's just like not my thing. I'm not gonna knock it. I mean, I know it was like, who is he to say that he won't date a femme guy? He all femme.
Putting on a wig or whatever.
Right. But to each his own. Like, it's your preference. Like, it's what you like. If you like, you know, if you're a chubby chaser, you like big dudes, and you like a plush pal. That's your thing. You can have that. But you know what I'm saying? If you don't, and you like, you know, the skinny type, jock look.
What about you?
Yeah, what's your type?
You know what? I've said it time and time again. I would never date this kind of guy, never date this kind of guy, and I ended up dating them because their conversation kind of broke me outside of their look. So I kind of, somebody like me, you know what I'm saying? You're level-headed. You're both like, you're feminine and you're masculine at the same time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's how like a verse person thinks to me.
I see that you talk about, when you talk about dating and stuff, you talk about the sexual role thing a lot. Is that like really important?
Yes.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10.
Importance of sex.
10 being
that's crucial.
Extremely important. 1 being it's not important.
Okay, I'm already about a 9.7.
9.7. So
no, sex is important to me. Like,
so you have to. So what sexual role do you have to date? Does it have to be a top, a verse? But we obviously know that it can't be
verse. Has to be verse. I'm not to be in no committed relationship for years. You know, you might be my partner, and I'm your bottom, or I'm your top. Because needs need to be
right. Because you have both needs.
Right.
So that obviously, I'm not gonna say obviously, but I want to assume that's a deal breaker for you.
Yeah.
So let's say you are. Okay, well let me ask that question. When you're dating, how soon do you find out what their sexual role is? Like, when do you like to find that out?
I mean,
that's a good question.
That is a very good question. I hate being asked, what are you, top or bottom?
Why? But that's
not the first game. Not the first.
But if it's 9.7 of importance from a scale of 1 to 10,
you're trying to get me
together. Don't drink.
Do we need to take a break and come back?
All right, he just gave me together. But you're very right. I don't know. That's crazy, right?
It is. Like,
sex is important to me, like literally a 9.7, because like I said, I'm not to be nobody's top, nobody's bottom. But I hate getting asked that question off rip before you even know like my favorite color. Like, I don't feel like you should know my sexual position first.
So like, how many dates do you think? How much time?
Or when do you ask it?
Yeah.
When I'm starting to kind of like see like, okay, outside of conversation and everything else, we need to talk about this bedroom now. Like, so I say like day 4.
Like date 4.
Date 4. I'm
So
sorry, date 4.
Date 4. So y'all been communicating for about 4 days and you're feeling him. Now you need to.
Right.
Wait. Oh, I got some DAY 4 or DATE 4?
DATE 4.
Oh, okay, so you heard day. I heard day too.
I'm
so I was like, okay,
sorry.
well, shit, if you going on day 4, you could ask me, why not ask me on day 1?
I'm gonna ask you. I got so many questions. I know you're trying to get some shit out.
I am.
I just been
Alright, go
one
ahead.
question.
Right.
So when Juan and I had our first date, it was like 8 hours long. Like, I knew I was in love with this man at the first date. I took 1 date. So let's say that happens for you.
Right.
1 date, you find you fell in love with this man. So you're gonna take 3 more dates to find out if he's a top, bottom, or versatile? and
you know for sure. You just know it.
And when you do find out that they're not versatile, do you walk away from that?
Okay, so to the 8 hours, if I definitely know, then yeah, you can definitely change the game.
Like just about
That's
how
what
you
it's about.
Like if your feelings are that strong for that person, like oh my god, I'm in love.
Yeah.
Is that and you find out
Does that seem far-fetched for you?
What, like 8 hours?
After that first date, you know that you're in love.
Yeah, like
does
do you
that
believe
seem
in
like
love?
a fantasy to you, or do you feel like that could really happen?
It does sound. It's not like a realistic fantasy. No, the top bottom deal. That's kind of like I don't know. But the falling in love, and I think in 8 hours. That's possible, but it sounds like a realistic fantasy. It sounds so sweet because, like, I'm 22. The boys that talk to me, they ain't trying to start no relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's talk about that when we come back. Let's take a little break.
Well, he didn't answer that question. Or is not answering it the answer? That's just something you have to ponder. What's the answer on, like, if you fell in love on the first date, like,
do you walk past that?
Yeah, do you walk past
that? If he's a strict top, I would. That was the question. Okay.
Yeah, they're just not versatile because you don't want strict either.
I don't know. That's gonna be a deal breaker. Like, I don't know. I'm 22. I'm gonna be honest with myself because I just know how I am.
Yeah.
If I met him today, and you know what I'm saying, and he was a complete top, I don't think I could rock with it. Even though the chemistry was so strong, I don't think I could rock with it. Just to be honest, because sex is a 9.7.
Yeah.
Right. But you better be honest.
Right. Because I'd be on Jack Boy. What you?
Look, he telling you he
I am
is.
being honest. I am being dead honest, honey.
With that, we are going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to Donte about being 22. I was 22.
You were 22 before?
Years ago. What is it like to be 22 and dating in 2015? We're going to talk about that when we come back.